Hello and welcome guys. In the last session we discussed about what is a financial statement, what are the components of financial statement, what are the different types of financial statement. So today we'll discuss the remaining part. Before that I would like to welcome all of you PS Commerce Academy in this YouTube channel पे आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. So let us move ahead and let us discuss about what is the financial statement analysis. That is a important point today we are going to discuss. So financial analysis. In the last lecture we discussed about the financial statement. What are the financial statement? Financial statements क्या होते हैं? So financial statement is the end product of financial accounting process. So financial accounting process क्या होता है? It starts from the journalizing the transaction and it concludes the preparation of financial statement. That is a financial accounting process. So yesterday in the last session discuss about what are the components of financial statement. That is your profit and loss account, trading account, balance sheet, then cash flow statement, notes forming part of balance sheet, then schedule of changes in working capital. All these are the component part of the financial statement. So now question comes, what is the financial analysis? Actually if we see the meaning of this word analysis का मतलब होता है careful examination of something. So that is the literal meaning of analysis. Actually the word analysis indicates the careful examination of something. That is the analysis. Now we are going to define what is the financial analysis. Financial analysis का मतलब क्या होता है, that we'll see today. So now everybody is running, actually nobody has time. So time has become very precious. किसी के पास time नहीं है. So if you see the balance sheet, so by looking at balance sheet you cannot draw any conclusion as such. Just balance sheet को देख के आप कोई conclusion नहीं draw कर सकते. So for that what we have to do, we have to analyze the statement, so that if we get one figure, then on that basis we can judge whether the business is sound or business is running in crisis. That can be done. So for that we have to do the analysis. There are various objectives of financial analysis that we'll see actually. Before that we'll define the what is the financial analysis. So सबके पास time नहीं है, इसलिए हमको financial analysis करना है क्योंकि time बहुत कम है. So by looking at one figure we can come to know that whether business is sound or not. So for that, for example, you can take example of ratio analysis. By calculating ratio we can easily conclude the short-term solvency of the business. So let us go through the definition of financial analysis. So financial analysis का मतलब क्या होता है? So see here, analysis of financial statement is a systematic numerical calculation. Financial analysis क्या है? It is a systematic numerical calculation. Systematic numerical calculation of the relationship between one fact with the another to measure the profitability, operational efficiency and the growth potential of the business. That is called the financial analysis. Now we'll understand this one by one. What is this systematic numerical calculation? You are going to calculate something. For example, I can take one example of ratio analysis. So I am going to calculate the ratio. Let us say current ratio I am calculating. So what is this? Current asset divided by current liability. So current asset divided by current liability. So this is this is a systematic numerical calculation. Systematic numerical calculation of the relationship between one fact with another. So this is one fact. Current asset is one fact and the current liability is another fact. So what is the financial analysis? Financial analysis is the systematic numerical calculation of relationship between one fact with another. So ये क्यों करना है? Why we are going to calculate the current ratio? What is the purpose? To measure the profitability, to check the profitability. Actually, don't take the literal meaning of this because this is a short-term solvency. We can check the short-term solvency with the help of the current ratio. Why we are doing the systematic numerical calculation? What is the purpose of systematic numerical calculation? To check the profitability. Profitability check करना है. Then operational efficiency. Whatever the workers we have, whether they are doing well or not, to check that we are doing the operational efficiency. and growth potential whether business is growing or not. To check that, we are doing the systematic numerical calculation of the relationship between one fact with the another fact. That is called the analysis of financial statement. So financial statement का मतलब क्या है? Systematic numerical calculation of the relationship between one fact with the another. ये किस लिए किया जा रहा है? To measure the profitability, operational efficiency and the growth potential of the business. Then moving ahead, Metcalfe and Tidard state that this is one author, he has given the definition of financial analysis. So financial, according to him, what is the financial analysis? So analyzing financial statement is a process of, what is this? It is the process of, what is this? It is the process of evaluating relationship between component parts of financial statement. Again, whatever we have seen earlier, that is the meaning coming from this definition actually. So what is saying? It is the process of evaluating the relationship between component parts of financial statement. Again, it is a relationship. It is a relationship between component part of financial statement. Component part of financial statement. So what are the component parts of financial statement? There may be your sales. There may be gross profit. There may be net profit. There may be operating profit. So all these are the component parts of financial statement. To obtain a better understanding. Again, what is the objective? To obtain a better understanding of firm's position and performance. Why we are doing financial analysis? To obtain a better understanding of a firm's financial position and performance. Performance in the sense profit. And position on a particular date, how much assets are there, how much liabilities are there. To understand that, we are doing the analysis. So this is the meaning of financial analysis. So we'll move ahead and we'll see the remaining part. So what is the process, right? So what are the steps in financial analysis? What steps are there in financial analysis? So first of all, if you want to do financial analysis, then you have to select the data. First step is that selection of information. You have to choose the data. So let us say if I want to analyze the financial statements of Reliance company. So first of all, I would have to select the data. That is the selection of information. So the first step is to select the information relevant to the decisions under consideration from the total information contained in the financial statement. So whatever the balance sheet is given, out of that, let us say banks are there. So banks may be interested in short term or long term solvency. So they will select data according to them. So that is the first step, is that selection of information. Selection of information. Then establishment of relationship. So the relationship may be between two variables. So they may establish the relation like a gross profit with the sales. Gross profit with sales. That relationship may be established, or they may establish the relationship with the interest with the profit before interest and tax. Let us say like that, ki earning before and taxes, earning before interest and taxes with the interest. So this type of relationship may be established. So any kind of relationship may be established. It is a depend upon the analyst, what he wants to analyze. So second step is that you have to establish the relationship. Then third step is that evaluation. So third step kya hai? Evaluation. It is not just enough to calculate the ratio. So let us say I have calculated one ratio. Let us say current ratio comes, let us say 3:1. This ratio I have calculated. I have established the relationship between two variables and I calculated the ratio. So now this is not enough to calculate. इतना sufficient नहीं है. We have to explain the meaning of this. कि इसका मतलब क्या होता है? इसका मतलब क्या होता है? So I have to explain the meaning of this. That is nothing but the third step. That is the what? Evaluation. I have to evaluate. What does it mean by 3:1? It means that you have ₹3 as a current asset and ₹1 as a current liability. When we'll discuss the ratio analysis, and in that session we'll discuss in detail actually what is this meaning of this, whether it is a good or bad, what are the pros and cons of this ratio. So we'll discuss that in the later part. So right now what we are looking the steps of financial analysis. So first step is that you have to select the data, you have to establish the relationship, and then you have to evaluate the calculation. So that is the third step. So these are the steps in financial analysis. So we'll move ahead and we'll see the meaning of interpretation. Just now I told you that ki just calculation of ratio. Just calculation of ratio. Let us say the ratio is 3:1. So calculation of ratio is not enough. What do you have to do? You have to explain the meaning of that. So that is the interpretation actually. What we are doing? We are doing this interpretation. Interpretation means what? Telling the meaning something. Means taking the meaning out of this. What is this? Taking the meaning of out of this. Taking the meaning out of this. Taking the meaning out of this. So what this tells about this? What is the meaning of this 3:1? That you have to explain. That is the explanation of interpretation actually. So interpretation is what? Explanation. It is what? Explanation or understanding of something. It is what? It is the explanation. You have to explain this. You have to explain this. See what is this? Let us take another example key. You might have heard one ratio, that is the debt equity ratio. What is that? Debt equity ratio, or it is called debt ratio, debt equity ratio. Okay. So debt equity ratio. So let us say कि debt equity ratio comes 3:1. Debt equity ratio comes to 3:1. So this is the calculation actually. This is just a calculation. We have established the relationship between two variables and we have calculated that ratio. But this is not enough. You have to explain. You have to explain what is this 3, what is this 1, whether it is good or bad. If it is a bad, then what can be done? So that is part of the interpretation. So interpretation is nothing but the explanation or understanding of something. Interpretation means explain the financial position. Explain the financial position. Earning capacity of the firm. That may be understood even by a layman who does not know accounting. There may be a person. He don't know anything about the accounting. So if somebody comes like this, then you just have calculated this ratio. Let us say you have calculated this ratio 3:1. So he will ask, what is this 3:1? What does it mean? So you have to explain. So that explanation part is nothing but the interpretation. So this is the meaning of interpretation. So keep in mind that one thing is that about financial analysis and interpretation, without analysis, interpretation is meaningless. Means you cannot interpret without analysis. So first thing is that you have to analyze. You have to analysis. You have to do the analysis. When you will do analysis, when you will have the data. Without data, you cannot analyze. So first step is that you should have the data, then analysis, and then interpretation. Interpretation is meaningless without analysis. So for that, analysis and then interpretation. So that is the meaning of analysis and interpretation. We'll move ahead. We'll see the remaining part of this. So what are the objectives of the financial analysis? This is something important. Why we have to do the analysis? हमें analysis क्यों करना है? क्या जरूरत है इसकी? So we'll see that there is one academician. His name is Spicer and Pegler. Spicer and Pegler. So he has defined the objectives of financial analysis. What are the objectives of financial analysis? He has said that objectives of financial analysis is to know and draw inferences about profitability. I am interested to know whether business is earning profit or not. So I have to check the profitability. For that I am doing the financial analysis. Then second part is that I am going to check the solvency, whether business is solvent or not. That is the second part. Then third part is that ownership. Ownership kaisi hai? How much preference shares are there? How much equity shares are there? Then financial strength. What are the financial strength of the business? To check that I have to do the financial analysis. Then I want to check the trend. Then I have to do the financial analysis. Then comes to gearing. What is this gearing? This gearing is nothing but the capital gearing ratio actually. Capital gearing. High gearing, low gearing. That we'll see in the later part actually. Then cover. Cover means what? Coverage ratio actually. Like dividend coverage ratio is there. Interest coverage ratio is there. With the help of that, I am going to analyze the financial position of the business. So, according to Spicer and Pegler, what is the reason behind doing analysis and interpretation? It is about to know the profitability, to know the solvency, to know the ownership, to know the financial strength. Then what is the trend? Trend, it may be in terms of sales. What is the trend in sales? What is the trend in profit? Then gearing, capital gearing, देन कवरेज, कवर मीन्स कवरेज रेशियो एक्चुअली, कि डिविडेंड कवरेज रेशियो कैसा है, इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो कैसा है, दैट आई वांट टू नो. सो these are the basic objectives of the financial statement. ठीक है, financial statement analysis. Some of the financial objectives of the financial statement analysis we'll discuss in a little bit in depth. So first is that measuring financial soundness. Measuring financial soundness. Business sound है या नहीं है, means whatever liabilities are there in the balance sheet, whatever the liabilities are there in the balance sheet, to pay that liabilities, whether business has sufficient asset or not. If business has sufficient asset to pay the liabilities, then we can say that ki business is sound. If business is earning very good profit, then also we can say it is sound. Next is that judging solvency. Solvency is of two types actually, short term solvency and long term solvency. Short term and long term. These two types of solvency is there actually. One is short term and second is the long term. So in short term solvency, what we check that whether current liabilities, whatever the current liabilities are there in the balance sheet, to pay that liabilities, whether business is having asset, that is the current asset, that is sufficient current assets are there or not. Then long term solvency, whatever the long term liabilities are there in the balance sheet, to pay that liability, whether the business has sufficient non-current assets or not, that is nothing but the long term solvency. So to check that solvency, we have different ratios actually. With the help of that ratio, we are doing the or we are judging the solvency of the business, that is short term solvency and long term solvency. After that, measuring profitability. Everybody is interested in profit actually. So even if they are the shareholders, they are very much interested in the profit actually, because if profits are very high, then they will get dividend more. So to check the profitability, how business is earning profit, whether business is earning good profit as compared to other partners or other competitors or not, or what is the average industry. So with the help of that, with the help of financial analysis, we can check the profitability of the business. So these first three objectives are there. Then next is that to judge the operational efficiency. Operational efficiency means what? We have, let us say we have invested 10 lakh rupees 10 lakh rupees in the business, and rate of return is some, let us say 10% is there. Rate of return is 10%. So this rate of return will compare with the industry, and on that basis we will check the operational efficiency, whether whatever the amount we have invested in the business, so we are getting fair return on that or not. Then indicating trends of achievements, indicating the trends of achievement. So you might have seen the histogram. So what is that histogram? Histogram shows that whether trend is there or not. If trend is there, then that trend is upward trend or downward trend is there. So with the help of that trend analysis also we can check the achievements of business. Then interfirm and intrafirm comparison. This is very important actually. Interfirm means, interfirm का मतलब क्या होता है? It is a comparison between two firm, that is called interfirm comparison. And intrafirm comparison, intrafirm comparison का मतलब होता है कि एक कंपनी का खुद से ही comparison करना, that is called the intrafirm comparison. So this is also helpful. We'll see that comparative statement analysis is there actually, and then common size statement. This intrafirm comparison if you are doing, then it means that you are doing common size statement, and if you are doing the interfirm comparison, it means that comparative balance sheets you can make. So these are the objectives of financial analysis. Then moving ahead, this is an important part actually of this lecture, that is the types of financial analysis. Types of financial analysis. So you can see that there are two categories according to which we can do the financial analysis. One is that according to the material used, and second is that according to modus operandi. Modus operandi का मतलब होता है कार्य प्रणाली. Modus operandi का मतलब होता है कार्य प्रणाली. So according to material use, financial analysis can be done by internal analysis. Then second is the external analysis. Internal analysis and external analysis will explain in detail in the next slide. Then according to modus operandi, there is a horizontal analysis, or it is also called dynamic analysis. Horizontal analysis, or it is also called dynamic analysis. Then it comes second part, vertical analysis or static analysis. Vertical analysis, or it is also known as static analysis. So this is the broad classification of financial statement analysis, actually types of financial analysis. So we'll see that according to material used. Okay. So first is that according to material used. So what material is used? For financial analysis, we'll basically use the financial statement. So first is that internal analysis. So ये internal analysis कौन करता है? Internal analysis कौन करता है? जो कंपनी में बैठे कंपनी के एम्प्लॉइज है, लेट अस से मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर्स आर देयर, मैनेजर आर देयर, सुपरवाइजर्स आर देयर, so they are doing this type of analysis. That is called the internal analysis. So when analysis of financial statement is made by somebody internally, जो कंपनी से रिलेटेड है, internally related to the enterprise, such as executives, employees, etc., it is said to be internal analysis. So internal analysis किसको बोलेंगे? Internal analysis is analysis which is done by the internal people of the organization. That is called the internal analysis. Such persons have access to all the documents. This is very important actually, because all documents are not public actually. So let us say balance sheet is there. So balance sheet is a public document. You can check the balance sheet of any company. That is a public document. But all documents are not public. So when you will do the internal analysis, then only you will have the access of all these documents, right? So you will have access to all documents, records of the concern. Concern means it is a company, let us say in this case. Hence, it is done on the basis of information obtained from internal and unpublished records and books. So balance sheet is a public record, published record actually, published. And what is this? This is the unpublished records, and it is the internal record actually, on the basis of information obtained from the internal and unpublished records and books. So this is a unpublished, it is not published, this is not available in the public domain. So if you are doing this type of analysis, then it will be known as the internal analysis. Then comes external analysis. External analysis is done by the parties who are not directly in the business, right? So let us say कि a bank is there, banks are there, investors are there, a government is there. So these people, if they do the analysis, then that analysis will be known as the external analysis. So let us go through this. An analysis made by a person not internally related, internally related नहीं है, वो कंपनी का एम्प्लॉय भी नहीं है, मैनेजर भी नहीं है, एग्जीक्यूटिव भी नहीं है. If these people are doing the analysis, then that analysis will be known as the external analysis. An analysis made by a person not internally related to the enterprise and meant for external uses and external users. In the last lecture, we had discussed what are the parties interested in the financial analysis actually. So those who are external users, they are not internal users actually, of financial statement is called external analysis. Analyst has no access, see here, has no access to all the records and documents. In case of internal analysis, you will have whole access of the records and documents. But in this case, in external analysis, you don't have full access of the records. No access is there. No document you will get, only except the published document. So he has to depend on the printed and published statement. Printed and published statement only. If you are doing analysis on the basis of published data, printed data, then that analysis will be known as the external analysis. This type of analysis made by the banks, investors, that is investing agency, creditors, research scholars and the government. This is called the external analysis. These people are external people actually. Bank is there, investing agencies are there, creditors are there, research scholars are there, government is there. So all these parties are the external parties. They are not the internal parties. So according to material use, we have classified financial analysis into category. One is the internal analysis, second is the external analysis. Now we'll see the very important part of the session, and that is of financial analysis by modus operandi. Modus operandi means कार्य प्रणाली. Modus operandi का मतलब क्या होता है? कार्य प्रणाली. So according to this analysis, first part is that horizontal, and that is also known as the dynamic analysis. Horizontal analysis. हॉरिजॉन्टल एनालिसिस. सो हॉरिजॉन्टल एनालिसिस का मतलब क्या होता है? समांतर, समांतर, राइट. लेट अस से कि आई वांट टू चेक ट्रेंड in sales. I want to check trend in sales over a period of time. How much is the sales? What is the nature of sales? Whether sales is increasing, whether sales is coming down, or whether it's a up and down situation. If I am doing that type of analysis, then that will be known as a horizontal analysis. So when financial statement of certain number of years, this is very important, certain number of years, keep in mind that certain number of years, बहुत सारे सालों का डेटा हमने गैदर किया है एंड वी आर डूइंग द एनालिसिस. लेट अस से कि 10 साल का डेटा मैंने गैदर किया है एंड इफ आई एम डूइंग एनालिसिस ऑन दैट बेसिस, देन दैट एनालिसिस विल बी नोन एज द डायनामिक एनालिसिस और हॉरिजॉन्टल एनालिसिस. व्हेन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट फॉर अ सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ इयर्स और डिफरेंट फर्म्स आर एग्जामिन्ड एनालिटिकली, द एनालिसिस कॉल्ड हॉरिजॉन्टल और डायनामिक एनालिसिस. एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस हॉरिजॉन्टल एनालिसिस इज व्हाट? ट्रेंड एनालिसिस. We are going to see what is the trend analysis actually. Then comparative statement. Comparative statement may be statement which we compare with the previous year, current year, or we can compare with the over a period of time. So that can be done in the horizontal analysis. So point to be note here. In case of horizontal analysis, we are doing analysis of statements over a period of number of years. बहुत सारे सालों का डेटा इकट्ठा किया है and on the basis of that we are analyzing the financial statement. इसका एग्जैक्टली रिवर्स है. हॉरिजॉन्टल एनालिसिस के एग्जैक्टली रिवर्स ऑपोजिट जो है तो वो है वर्टिकल एनालिसिस. दैट इज अ वर्टिकल एनालिसिस और इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड स्टैटिक एनालिसिस. इन स्टैटिक एनालिसिस और वर्टिकल एनालिसिस एक ही साल का डेटा लिया जाता है एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट वी डू द एनालिसिस. दैट इज कॉल्ड द वर्टिकल एनालिसिस. सो वर्टिकल और स्टैटिक एनालिसिस इज द स्टडी ऑफ म्यूचुअल रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन different components of their totals of the financial statement for a definite period of time. For a definite time of period means एक साल के लिए generally data लिया जाता है and on the basis of that we do the analysis. For example, common size statement. We are going to see this common size statement also. Let us say कि common size, if we do the common size of profit and loss account, so there will be sales. So सेल्स लिया जाएगा एंड each and every component of the profit and loss account will be compared with this sales and we'll check the percentages and on the basis of that we'll draw certain conclusions. So that will be known as the common size statement. This we'll see in the later part. Anyway, we are going to discuss this trend analysis, comparative statement, common size statement in the upcoming lectures. So to do this all these things, what tools are available with us? ये सब तो हो गया, इंटरनल एनालिसिस हो गया, एक्सटर्नल हो गया, हॉरिजॉन्टल हो गया, स्टैटिक हो गया. ये सब करने के लिए हमारे पास टूल कौन कौन से है? सो दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वी हैव टूल्स. सो वी हैव डिफरेंट टूल्स और समटाइम्स इट इज कॉल्ड मेथड्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस. सो व्हाट टूल्स आर अवेलेबल? वी हैव फर्स्ट कंपैरेटिव फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, देन सेकंड कॉमन साइज फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, देन वी हैव ट्रेंड एनालिसिस, then we have ratio analysis, then we have fund flow analysis, then we have cash flow analysis, and lastly we have break-even analysis. So all these are the tools of financial statement analysis and interpretation. So one by one we'll take in the upcoming lectures. So I think this much is there in today's session. So we'll conclude our session here. Thanks for watching and we'll meet again in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.